Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight in today, taking a look at the sources you've shared, focusing mainly on Rob Moore's book, I'm Worth More.
That's right. And our mission here really is to unpack these core ideas around self-worth. What is it? How does it impact, well, pretty much everything you do?
Yeah, where does it even come from?
Exactly. And crucially, what can you do about it? We're pulling out the most practical insights here to help you tap into your real potential.
Because honestly, the author nails it. These struggles, they feel so personal, but really they're universal, aren't they?
Totally. That feeling of not being good enough or like the fear of failure just stopping you in your tracks.
Or worrying what people think, feeling alone even in a crowd.
Yeah. And his own experience, as an entrepreneur, putting himself out there, taking risks, it showed him these aren't just his problems.
Right.
They're fundamental human things. And they're really rooted in how we see our own value. It affects everything, careers,
The
relationships.
whole foundation.
It really is.
So let's get into this foundational idea from the sources. It's a bit of a head spinner, actually. This concept that there's no single fixed reality. There's only your perception, and, well, according to this, that perception creates your reality.
It is challenging, isn't it? The author talks about how he used to think, Radiohead was the best band, period. Or South Park was the only funny show.
Like, objectively true for everyone.
Exactly. Or that hating a certain football team was just the right way to be. He thought his view was reality.
And we all kind of do that, don't we? Build our little reality tunnels.
We do. But the really powerful thing here, the life-changing bit, is that if reality is just perception,
Then it's not set in stone.
precisely, it's malleable. The reality you're in right now isn't necessarily the reality, it's your perceived reality.
Okay. And that connects directly to self-worth.
Absolutely. Your self-worth isn't some, fixed grade you got. It's your perception of you.
And if it's perception.
Then you can change it. It's malleable.
Wow. So the really actionable thing isn't just knowing it can change, but realizing it doesn't actually matter where it came from originally. The past, childhood stuff, labels.
Right. The power is now. The moment you consciously decide to shift how you perceive yourself or how you interpret a past event,
You change its hold over you now.
you're literally changing your current reality by changing that perception. You have the agency.
Okay. So that leads to the big question. If it's perception, where did my perception of myself actually come from?
Well, the sources describe it like a kind of dynamic battery gauge, always being influenced.
Not static at all.
Definitely not. The book talks about how these beliefs get layered on starting really young. Think about childhood, parenting.
Such as from parents, divorce maybe, how love was shown or not shown.
Yeah, then add society, culture, school teachers, friends, grades,
Social groups, authority figures, the media bombarding us.
constantly comparing ourselves. And then, of course, your own personal wins and losses.
Finances make a difference too. Relationships, any trauma you've been through, criticism.
Bullying, rejection, all of it. And importantly, your own self-talk, that internal commentary, plus what others actually say about you.
Right.
So the sources say self-worth gets built layer upon layer from all this stuff. It forms this perceived reality based on the meaning you gave those events and people way back when.
And the kicker is, you probably just assumed those meanings were true.
Right, exactly. They became the default setting, like fossilized layers.
Unless you actively dig them up and decide to assign a new meaning today.
That's the opportunity. Now, the sources also make an interesting distinction between value and worth. We often use them interchangeably.
Okay, let's break that down. So value is external.
Yeah, think market forces, cost, importance at a specific time, how something is projected out there. It's malleable. The value of stocks, houses, it goes up and down.
Right, makes sense. And worth.
Worth is internal. It's your inner perception.
Yeah.
The self-talk, what you reinforce about yourself inside.
So the idea is internal worth isn't supposed to fluctuate like the stock market. It's something you sort of fix or increase internally.
That's the argument. You build it from the inside out.
Okay, and that explains why comparison works differently. External value, easy to compare. This car costs more than that one. There's a market.
Right. Clear benchmark. But inner self-worth, there's no market for you in that sense.
It's totally subjective. Just how you see yourself, your self-image.
And here's the crucial link they make. Low inner worth often leads to low outer value.
How so?
Well, you might undercharge for your work, right? Or not ask for a raise, or just generally accept less than you deserve because deep down you don't feel worthy of more. You undervalue your own time.
I can see that.
So the flip side is the goal. Increasing your inner worth actually starts to drive up the value you see manifest in your life.
It starts with valuing yourself first.
That internal shift is key. It ripples out.
Which brings us to something really, well, quite powerful in the sources. The idea of your unique genius, that you're already unique.
Yes. The material points to the science, DNA, neurology, axiology, which is the study of values,
Right.
all showing just how statistically improbable you are. Just you, existing exactly as you are.
There's that incredible statistic, isn't there? 400 trillion to 1 odds of being born as you.
It really makes you stop and think. The sheer miracle of your specific existence.
And the argument is that inherent uniqueness is proof of your inherent worth.
Exactly. You don't have to do something amazing to become worthy or special. You just are.
Including all the quirks and flaws and struggles.
That's part of the unique package.
Yeah.
You are supposed to be you.
And there's a reason for this uniqueness, right? Interdependence.
Yeah, basically we need each other's different skills and viewpoints to survive and thrive. The too many cooks idea, if everyone was the same, we'd be missing vital contributions.
So people actually need your specific unique value.
They do. So the challenge isn't to change into someone else. It's to discover what's already uniquely you, own it, work with it.
And then show it to the world.
Yeah, have the courage to do that.
Yeah. But, okay, if it's already there, why is owning it so damn hard sometimes? The sources use that analogy of the bucket with holes.
Ah, yes, the leaky bucket.
Yeah.
You can try pouring water in faster, hustle more. Get motivated.
Or use a straw, gain more knowledge.
But you're not fixing the leak. And the leak, according to this, is often that shaky foundation.
Yeah.
Lack of empowered identity, limiting beliefs, low self-worth.
So let's look at some of these specific holes they identify. First one, labels.
Right. The ones people stick on you, parents, teachers, critics online, wherever. And maybe even worse, the ones you stick on yourself.
I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. I'm just awkward. I can't handle this.
Yeah, those. The sources point out they often become your identity, even if they're just based on someone else's opinion or, a past mistake. An action, not who you are.
So it's important to separate the action from the identity.
Hugely. And there's a useful filter mentioned. Consider the source of the label or advice. Are they experienced, qualified, someone you actually respect in that area?
If yes, maybe listen. If not, let it go. And also, catch yourself using those extreme labels for situations like, are you really drowning in S?
Mm-hmm.
Or just feeling overwhelmed. Changing the language helps.
Okay. Next hole. The comparison curse.
Oh, this is a big one. Constantly looking at others, where they are, what they have, those curated highlight reels online.
And it just makes you feel worse.
Almost always.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually change anything for you. Now, comparison can be useful sometimes, like for a benchmark or motivation.
Sure.
But it becomes a curse when it's negative, relentless, and focused only on how you don't measure up.
So what's the alternative?
Compare yourself to yourself, your past self. Look how far you've come. That's where the real growth is visible.
Makes sense. Okay, what about self-doubt?
Well, the sources suggest it might have started as a survival thing. Don't jump off that cliff without checking. Practical doubt.
Right.
But it morphs into this debilitating fantasy doubt. What if they laugh at me? I'm definitely not smart enough for this. It'll never work.
That nagging inner critic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes that voice is way harsher than anyone outside. The key is trying to differentiate. Is this practical doubt like, do I need more info or a skill? Or is it emotional doubt, just fear talking?
Recognize the voice, but don't just automatically believe everything it says.
Exactly. Don't treat it as fact.
Okay, another hole. Beating yourself up.
The lovely cycle of messing up, feeling bad, and then feeling bad about feeling bad.
Yeah, that spiral, it feels so counterproductive.
It does. But the sources suggest there might be these weird unconscious purposes behind it, like trying desperately to avoid making the same mistake again, or maybe it feels like you're doing something about the problem by worrying. It uses up a ton of energy, though, and they distinguish between guilt, feeling bad about something you did, and shame, feeling like you were bad or flawed.
That's a critical difference.
It is. So the insight is, recognize the cycle, see the energy drain, and try to consciously redirect that energy. Go do something physical, create something, help someone, talk it out, use the energy to move forward.
Got it. What about the perfectionist paradox? Sounds related.
Very related. Striving for excellence is good, right? We want to do well. But aiming for perfection, the sources frame that as potentially crippling.
Why a paradox?
Because the higher your impossible standard of perfection, the more you notice flaws in everything, including yourself. It leads to stress, inaction, because nothing's ever perfect enough to start or finish, and often worse outcomes.
Often driven by fear of judgment?
Yeah, fear of criticism, external pressure. The author tells that story about editing his book over and over.
Right, until it wasn't getting better, just different.
Exactly, he had to let it go. So the mantra becomes something like, start now, get perfect later, or just done is better than perfect. Progress over perfection. People connect with realness anyway, not some impossible ideal.
Okay, this next one feels counterintuitive. Fear of success.
Yeah, sounds weird, doesn't it? Who wouldn't want success?
Right.
But think about it. Success brings expectations, pressure, the potential for a bigger, more public fall if things go wrong later.
Fear of losing what you gained. Demands on your time and energy.
All of that. And sometimes there's this deeper, maybe subconscious fear of becoming, well, unlovable
Yeah.
or an outcast if you change too much or rise above your group.
Wow. Okay, so what's the advice there?
Acknowledge the fear, but contrast it with the very real costs of not pursuing success, of staying stuck, and maybe dip your toe in. Taste small successes first to build confidence that you can handle it.
Okay, next hole. Living up to expectations, especially other people's.
Oh yeah, the pressure, particularly from, say, parents or authority figures, to be someone you're not. It creates this massive internal conflict.
Because you're constantly seeking their approval.
Right. The author shares a really raw story about playing rugby as a kid.
I remember reading that he hated it.
Found it painful, embarrassing, but did it purely because his dad wanted him to. It was all about trying to get that approval, fearing he wouldn't be loved if he wasn't the son his dad pictured.
That's tough.
It really is. The insight is clear, though. You don't have to live someone else's script for your life. Real love shouldn't be conditional on you conforming. Living your own truth, even if difficult initially, is way less damaging long term.
Makes sense. And the last hole mentioned is imposter syndrome.
That feeling like you're a fraud, you don't deserve your success, and any minute now, someone's going to find you out.
So common, especially for high achievers, weirdly.
It is. The sources importantly call it a psychological pattern or complex, not a disorder. That means it's a learned way of thinking, not some fixed illness.
Okay, that's hopeful. What causes it?
Things like maybe not getting enough genuine feedback, low confidence overall, fear of failure again, perfectionism, feeling your worth is conditional on constant achievement.
The author felt it himself.
Yeah, during the 2008 recession, even though he was successful, he attributed it all to luck, felt like an imposter. The key is recognizing it as a thought pattern and deliberately focusing on objective evidence of your skills and accomplishments rather than just listening to the feeling.
Okay, so we've looked at the holes. Now here's that really surprising twist from the sources. The idea that low self-worth might actually have a purpose.
It feels totally counterintuitive, doesn't it? Like, how could feeling bad about yourself be useful?
Exactly.
But the argument goes deep, often back to childhood survival instincts, feeling powerless or fearing abandonment. Sometimes blaming yourself felt safer, paradoxically. It gave an illusion of control, like, if I'm bad, maybe I can change and fix this, which felt less scary than blaming powerful adults you depended on.
Wow. Okay, a defense mechanism.
Yeah. And surprisingly, the sources point out potential benefits of not having sky-high self-worth in certain areas.
Like what?
Well, it can foster humility, which helps you learn. It might stop you making overly reckless decisions. It can sometimes make you seem more relatable and attract support. Modesty, open-mindedness.
Being willing to hear feedback.
Exactly. Which drives growth. A healthy skepticism, awareness of your actual limitations. These can be good things.
So the point isn't to aim for low self-worth.
Definitely not. But it's to recognize it's complex. You don't necessarily need booming self-worth in every single aspect of your life. The book uses examples like maybe you're a brilliant surgeon, high worth there, but terrible at yoga, low worth there.
And that's okay if yoga isn't your main thing.
Precisely. Own the nuance. Don't feel you have to fix every perceived weakness, especially in areas that aren't core to who you are or what you want to contribute.
Okay, that takes some pressure off. So if we understand the holes and this nuance about purpose, how do we actually move towards higher self-worth? How do we plug the holes?
Right, back to the bucket. It's about working on the foundation itself. And the sources offer a key tool, the AAA process.
Aware, accept, act. Okay, how does that work?
When something happens, a situation, the thought that triggers those low-worth feelings. First, become aware. Just notice the emotions, the thoughts swirling around without judgment.
Just observe them.
Yeah, then accept. Accept the situation as it is in that moment. This isn't resignation, it's acknowledging reality. And crucially, This is where you might gather new facts or perspectives to challenge the initial negative perception.
Okay, aware, accept.
Then act. Based on that higher awareness and acceptance, choose an action that's positive, proactive, and aligned with the value you want to embody. It breaks the reactive cycle.
Aware, accept, act. Got it.
And fundamentally, the sources keep coming back to valuing yourself first. Remember the idea that the world mirrors your perception.
Yeah.
When you genuinely increase your inner worth, the reflection changes. Think of that Picasso story, the sketch on the napkin.
Its value wasn't the minute it took.
But the 40 years of experience
Right.
behind it. Your worth is the sum total of your unique life, your experiences, your perspective. Own that.
So practical steps.
Yeah.
Actually valuing yourself.
Yes, consciously. Make that list of your great trades aim high, 50, 100 even. Actively notice when you do things well during the day. Give yourself credit.
Be your own biggest fan, not your biggest critic.
Exactly. Catch that inner critic starting up and consciously choose to lift yourself up instead. Reframe the negative self-talk.
It really circles back to knowing and owning that unique value we talked about earlier.
It does. And the sources touch on how this internal shift can then manifest externally, maybe even financially, not by chasing money, but by expressing your unique inner worth in a way that serves others.
Like those examples, Post Secret or $1 Million Homepage.
Yeah, examples of unique ideas born from someone owning something specific about themselves or their perspective that resonated and created external value. It shows it's possible.
So the most valuable thing you offer comes from being authentically you.
That's the core message, I think.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we've seen self-worth is really a perception, one that you create, even though it's shaped by tons of influences.
Right, and it's different from external value. And it gets challenged by all those common holes labels, comparison, doubt, perfectionism, those fears.
But we also saw that low self-worth isn't always just bad. It can have surprising functions. And a huge key is separating who you are from what you do.
Absolutely. And the way forward involves actively changing that core perception, owning your uniqueness, using tools like aware, accept, act.
And consciously valuing yourself first.
Yeah, so considering all that reality is malleable, that self-worth is your perception. Here's a final thought from these sources for you to ponder.
What one new meaning could you consciously choose to place on a past event, or maybe an old label someone gave you starting today? How could that shift help you step closer to realizing your true value?
Or maybe simpler. What's one unique trait, skill, or quirk that makes you you, that you could decide to truly own and appreciate, maybe even express a bit more, starting right now?